Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and we have new information regarding iOS 19, iPhone 17 Pro design, as well as iOS 18.5 Beta 4, and more. This is your news update for April 22nd, 2025. Now, when it comes to the iPhone 17 Pro, well, it's looking like with the iPhone 17 Pro, we could have a new sort of color. Sort of like a sky blue, kind of light blue type of color on the iPhone 17 Pro models. A lot lighter than Sierra blue on the iPhone 13 Pro. It's kind of like the same blue on the iPad Air and MacBook Air with the sky blue color. We can sort of have a sky blue. I don't think it's going to be the white pastel blue that was used on the iPhone 15. Honestly, that was not blue at all. That was more of a white color. But we could see a sky blue on the iPhone 17 Pro along with gold, titanium. They might call it sky blue, but I don't think it's going to be titanium, along with gold, silver, and I believe black, as it won't be titanium any longer, as it's rumored that the iPhone 17 Pros could switch back to aluminum. Now, as far as updates from Apple, well, yesterday we get iOS 18.5 Beta 3. And also last week we got iOS 18.4.1. This update addressed a bug with CarPlay issues with CarPlay connection. So that should work properly on 18.4.1. And with 18.4.1, it fixed a bug that I was having when you go over to your icons with Canary Mail. That now seems to tint properly when you go ahead and tint your icons. Now, as far as what else we can see from Apple, well, since we now have iOS 18.5 Beta 3, we can get 18.5 Beta 4, and I would expect that next week with an RC on the 5th. And a release of the software on the 12th, along with new Pride wallpapers, as we get those in every 0.5 update past iOS 16. And then when we do get those wallpapers, I will most definitely show them off in a video, just like I did with the ones in iOS 18.3. And then we're going to get iOS 18.6, and this is what I'm looking most forward to, iOS 19. As far as what's to be expected in iOS 19, well, its release date is going to release on June 9th and have betas throughout the summer until September at the public beta in July. Now, in iOS 19, we're expected to have circular icons with the ability to switch between square and circular icons, sort of with a glass-inspired sort of redesign. I mentioned that I would like to see the floating tab bar that was removed in iOS 15 early betas. Maybe not exactly how it was in iOS 15. Maybe have a button instead of having your tab switcher, books, and share button all at the bottom. Maybe have it compacted into one button when you press on it, and you see all of your different options for going back, forward, sharing, and the history and the tab switcher, as well as to refresh the page, but maybe have that on the address bar or pull down to refresh. But I do miss the floating tab bar. I was not running the iOS 15 betas, but I've seen pictures of the floating tab bar, and I hope some version of it makes a comeback in iOS 19. As I am excited for its floating elements with the circular icons and the Vision OS-like inspired redesign. Now, it is expected to unfortunately drop a couple devices from support. That's the iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max. So if you have those devices, unfortunately, you will not be getting iOS 19. However, you will be getting security updates on iOS 18. Now, as far as a potential folding iPhone from Apple, this is expected to be out next year in 2026. I mean, it is good to see Apple trying new ideas, but I don't know if I'm that much of a fan of folding phones. They do look nice, but we could see a folding iPhone, maybe have no dynamic island and a hole punch display, maybe have two cameras on both sides, and with the screen, maybe have one screen, or maybe there could be a screen on the back. I believe this could be either a special edition fold device. Maybe it could be the 20th anniversary iPhone that I've been hearing so much about. Or maybe it could be part of the iPhone 18 lineup. We don't know at this point, but since it's releasing in late 2026, what I do know is it will have the A20 chip and it will be running iOS 20. Now that's probably a year away from now, a year to 2 years out at this point, but more closer to a year. But I am looking forward to that folding iPhone and seeing what it could look like, even though I'm not that much of a fan of folding phones. They do look okay, but I prefer normal devices. We are also expected a HomePod with a screen on it as well. A screen HomePod. We can have that at some point also. And we are expected a lot of updates at WWDC. And that's what I'm looking most forward to, as well as the iPhone 17 getting released and iOS 19 beta. Now, I initially said I was going to install the beta, but I probably most likely won't be installing the beta. Is if I upgrade this iPhone, which I might be doing at some point, I won't get to keep this particular device. But if I do, I will put the beta on this device. I am not putting it on my iPad, as I use that as my main device. So if I don't keep this device, then I'm not installing the iOS 19 developer beta. However, I will install the public release, which we should expect probably in September. Probably in the 3rd to 4th week of September, after we get the iPhone 17 launch. Typically, in the 2nd week of September, we get the events for the iPhone 17. I would have to check back to when it was last year. I believe it was September 9th. To check back for the iPhone. Yeah, last year it was September 9th. So we had it on September 9th for the iPhone 16s. And if Apple follows that same sort of trend, I would expect a September 8th event. Now, right now, it's too early to start talking about potential event dates for the iPhone 17, but I just wanted to throw in a rumored guess. If that is to be the case, then iOS 19 RC should release then, and a final release on September 15th of iOS 19. Now, I will have a video just like I will for the beta, even though I probably most likely won't be installing it. It will be an iOS 19 prepare to update video where I talk about all the different steps you should know before you do this huge major iOS update. Now, I am looking forward to iOS 19 as well as the iPhone 17s, and seeing new updates from Apple as they come out. As far as anything else from Apple, well, that's it for the week of April 22nd, 2025. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And if you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.